Hi kids, welcome to the Avenel Fire Station. My name is Firefighter Allen, and today I'd like to talk to you a little bit about fireworks safety. Remember, this Independence Day, fireworks, they can be fun, but they can also be very dangerous. Here are a few fireworks that you might see out on your 4th of July. Now notice they come in lots of different shapes and sizes, but all these fireworks have one thing in common. They are approved by the California Fire Marshal Safe and Sane Fireworks. It is important that you only light off fireworks that are approved by the State Fire Marshal and have the state seal. When picking a good location to light off your fireworks, look for an area that's free of any debris like trees or dead grass, garbage, and they're away from any houses or other structures. Also, pick an area that's got a nice flat level ground. This way, the fireworks won't possibly tip over and shoot in a direction that you don't want them to. It's important to always have a hose and a bucket of water nearby in case something was to go wrong. If a firework doesn't go off as planned, it's probably a dud. Wait 15 minutes and then soak it in water before removing it. Remember, even though fireworks are fun, they can be dangerous. Always use adult supervision and have them help you light it if you're not experienced enough. Once you're all done having your fun, make sure the fireworks cool off with enough time, douse them in water, and then you can dispose of them in a normal trash receptacle. And remember, adults, don't consume drugs or alcohol. Let it be a fun event for everybody, and be safe. Welcome to the bedroom. What I have here in my hand is a smoke detector. Smoke detectors come in many different shapes and sizes, but they all function to tell you that there's danger possibly. We should pay attention to what these things are telling us, especially if it's happening at night. You should have a smoke detector in every bedroom of your house. Make sure that your house has smoke detectors and that they're functioning properly. Most smoke detectors run off of a battery, but some are hardwired. You'll find them on the roof or above doorways. A smoke detector that makes a chirp once every 30 seconds is telling you that the battery's getting low. You should change your batteries at least twice a year to make sure that they function properly when you need them to. Now let's do a little scenario. I'm laying in my bed at night and I hear the first thing I'm going to want to do is look around my room. Do I see any smoke? If so, you want to stay out of the smoke. So you might have to crawl. Get down low, because that's where the fresh air is going to be. Make your way to your door. Now that you're at your door, you don't want to just go through it because there might be something dangerous on the other side, like fire and more smoke. So we're going to feel the door with the back of our hand. Feel low to high. If the door is warm, probably a good idea not to go through it because there might be fire there. There we go. If there's smoke coming through the bottom of the door, it's a good idea not to go through it as well because there's smoke on the other side. We also don't want that smoke to continue coming into our room. One way you can stop that is by getting your bedding, some clothes, or a towel if you got one. And blocking the bottom of the door. That way the smoke doesn't get in. Now it's important to find another way out. Go to your window, if you've got one, or if you have another door that leads out of your room, try using that to get out of your house. Open your window. And usually you'll have a screen. Just punch that screen right out. They're not that hard. And then you can make your way outside. If you're on the second story of your house, you might not be able to go out your window. But it's very important that you let people know that you're in your room. And then you can do that by simply shouting, "Help! Help! There's a fire!" Turn on the lights in your house so people know where to look for you. And keep shouting until somebody helps you out. Remember, if your house is on fire, the most important thing is for you to get yourself and your family out. We don't grab things like our PlayStations or our favorite books. We just want to make our way out the door. We also don't want to hide from the fire. That's not going to help out at all. The best thing to do is to try and make your way outside and then alert somebody to come help. Also, if you have access to it, call 911 on a telephone. Now we're going to talk about what you should do in case your clothes catch on fire. If your clothes were to catch on fire, you got to remember to stop, drop, and roll. I'm going to demonstrate that for you now. Pay close attention. I'm going to cover my face. This way, the fire doesn't burn my mouth or my nose, and I'm still able to breathe. So the first thing I'm going to do is stop. My clothes are on fire, and I need to put it out. I'm going to drop. Dropping to the ground is going to help you to smother the fire using the ground. And to help do that completely, we're going to roll on the ground. This is what it'll look like. Covering your face. And you're going to roll. Do that as long as it takes for the fire to go out. These are fire extinguishers. They usually come in two different types, a dry powder and water. You'll see extinguishers at different places like your school, restaurants, at grocery stores, and maybe you even got them inside your home. It's very important. We don't play with fire extinguishers. They're there for a reason. But if you have to, like there's a fire, it's important to understand how to use a fire extinguisher properly. To use a fire extinguisher properly, we use an acronym. It's called PASS. And it stands for pull the pin, aim the nozzle, squeeze the handle, and sweep the base of the fire. Let's pretend this rose bush is our fire. Now we're going to want to stay about 20 feet back from the fire. So using PASS, we've pulled our pin, we're aiming our nozzle, we're going to squeeze the trigger and sweep the base of the fire. We're going to do this until the fire goes out. Fire extinguishers are a good tool to use in case you can make a quick attack on a fire. But remember, more importantly than that is to get out. If you can get out of the fire without having to use a fire extinguisher, it's best just to leave and call 911. Let's talk a little bit about safety with cooking. Now, only use a stove if you're old enough to use it and your parents have trained you how to use it. Cooking on the stove can be dangerous because you're dealing with open flame and hot pans. But what should happen if one of these pans were to catch on fire? The most important thing you want to remember if you have a grease fire in a pan is do not put water on it. Everybody thinks that water is the way to put out a fire, but with grease fires, it'll actually make the fire a lot bigger, and you'll end up getting hurt and burning the rest of your house down more than likely. We have a pan that's on fire. First thing we're going to want to do is turn off the stove. Next, remember, we don't want to put water on it, but instead, grab something like the lid and safely cover it. Give it a couple minutes. It'll limit the flow of oxygen to the fire and it'll extinguish the flame. Well, that's all we have for you today. Thanks for coming by the fire station, and I hope you learned something about how you can be safe in your home. Remember this 4th of July, have fun and be safe. Take care.